NFTs have made people millions and, well, lost people millions. Just like any asset class, finding and predicting the value is challenging, and guaranteeing success is next to impossible or semi-illegal. However, even though it is truly a guessing man's game, when we look for other things such as in traditional finance, there tends to be formulas, equations, investment strategies that, although do not guarantee success, allow people to really help predict or at least guide their strategy behind it to help choose the winners and really minimize the losers. Although we can't guarantee success, hitting many boxes in the rubric will just aid in the ability for the project to be successful and really trying to minimize the losses. Similar to what we've seen in school, it is a matrix. Really here the goal is to rate on different factors, really making a, using consulting word, Mises, mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive, to evaluate all aspects of the project to help really focus on what makes some projects great, what makes some others maybe hinder, or most importantly with the last column, what are the red flags to really minimize you ever looking at a rug pull. We rate the project really on the 5 criteria that tend to be the most common, that being engagement, team history, utility, roadmap and runway, and art. Engagement is extremely important, but the most important thing when looking at engagement is high engagement based on the size of the following. Having a very high following is good, and it's a benefit, but having low engagement with a very high following tends to show the fact that the group has bought-in users or are using bots to really up their viewer count, subscriber count, or even their follower count. This is concerning really due to the fact that if they're going to pay to fib or lie, what else are they lying about? The next thing being the team dynamic is probably one of the most important ones. And the fact is that, do they have a team that can take the project going forward? A lot of times on projects, you want to see someone with some dev experience, historic experience within the NFT world, or at least in the marketing world. At the end of the day, this is really similar to marketing or anything else. We're getting the name out there is such a big part of developing the brand and getting that project up and running. Utility really being something that has become put more into light over the past few days, few weeks, few years, well, not really years, I guess few weeks. The fact that where is this project going? We've seen many NFT projects launch now, have some success and really dwindle out due to the fact that these roadmaps are really not accurate or realistic. You want to ensure that the utility brings a value to you as the holder, but most importantly, has some future proofing. Being exclusive for the sake of exclusivity is really not a good way of guaranteeing value. Although there is some success or some examples of where this has worked, this is typically a red flag in projects. The roadmap is extremely important. Just similar to investing in a typical startup or a VC-backed business, you want to ensure that there is a plan and that the money you're giving them buying the NFT will go towards the goals. Having also important is having the runway to ensure there's enough financials to get the project going. Although you can't see their financials, typically as they're private businesses, knowing how much some things cost is a really good, realistically good idea. If they want to develop a whole TV show and they've only sold 10 ETH, there's a good chance that this is very much impossible, if not very unlikely to ever occur. So understanding and viewing the roadmap and really viewing it through a lens of some skepticism, but most importantly, viewing it through a lens of what is realistic for the team as we've listed above is super important to know if this project will dwindle out and fail. Even with a great team, great project, great art, if you run out of money, you can't run a business at the end of the day. And the last is the artwork. And this is extremely subjective due to the fact that what you find pretty, I might not find pretty and vice versa. But most importantly, what we're really evaluating here is the artist, the art behind it, and that there was thought put into it. No matter what the utility of the project or token is, having aesthetics is pretty important. But also, we want to make sure, similar to what we talked about in engagement, that they're not lying to you. If they're just ripping off another project blatantly just to have a PFP to make some few quick bucks, although you can buy it for the art, knowing that probably along the line that the project will not grow in value like some of these more popular projects that have creativity, uniqueness, as well as a team behind it that can have some greater success. So overall, I'm hoping to really use this rubric as a way to create a standard within the community to help people evaluate future projects and to minimize the rug pulls. Let me know in the comments below what you think, maybe what things we should add to make sure that this rubric can be applied to any NFT projects coming up and allow for greater success across the board.